In a world that pulls us in 100 directions, inner stillness is no longer a luxury, it's a necessity. It's the quiet space where we recalibrate, realign, and reconnect. Stillness doesn't mean doing nothing, it means being deeply present in everything. A while back, I noticed I was always reaching for my phone, first thing in the morning, during meals, even during conversations. I felt wired, distracted, and always on. So I began a new ritual. No phone the first hour after waking. Instead, I'd journal. Sometimes just a few lines about how I felt or what I was grateful for. That one shift changed the energy of my entire day. I was calmer, more focused, and more aware. Here are some daily practices to cultivate stillness. Breath work, 3 minutes. Close your eyes. Inhale deeply for 4 counts. Hold for 4. Exhale for 6. Do this daily. It trains your nervous system to shift from chaos to calm. Digital detox zones set boundaries. No devices at the dinner table, during nature walks, or in bed. These moments become sacred again. Journaling for clarity. Each morning, write one page. Not to be perfect, just to be honest. What's weighing you down? What's lifting you up? Mindful walking, walk slowly. Feel your feet meet the ground. Notice the wind, the colors, the sounds. Let walking become meditation. Time block silence. Schedule it like a meeting. Even 15 minutes of silence a day can shift your mental clarity and emotional balance. Early morning solitude. Wake up before the world does. Sit in silence. Watch the light change. There is power in greeting the day with intention. Anchoring rituals will include things like morning ritual, wake, water, silence, journal, no screen. Midday, check in, step outside, breathe, notice the sky. Evening wind down, gentle music, gratitude list, lights low. Stillness becomes easier when it's ritualized, when it becomes a rhythm, not a random act. Key takeaways: stillness is created, not found. Digital clutter creates mental chaos. The breath is your portable reset button. Nature grounds your awareness. Solitude is not loneliness, it's sacred space. Stillness is not far, it's right here under the noise. These daily practices are invitations. Try one, then another. Make stillness your daily companion, not a distant dream. Next, we will talk about silence as spiritual depth. Silence isn't just the absence of noise, it's the presence of something deeper. For mystics, saints, and seekers, silence was the path to union with the divine, the self, and with truth. I once spent a full day in silence during a retreat. No talking, no phone, no music. At first, it was uncomfortable. My mind was loud, restless. But by hour 3, something shifted. I heard the wind. I noticed the way light danced across the floor. I could feel my own heartbeat. And in that stillness, I felt connected, not isolated. I felt held by something greater. Traditional story: Saint Anthony of the Desert. Saint Anthony retreated into the Egyptian desert for decades. People thought he was escaping the world, but he was diving into a deeper one. In silence, he battled his inner demons. In silence, he found God. When people finally visited him, they asked what he had learned. He simply said, "He who sits alone and is quiet has escaped from 3 wars: hearing, speaking, seeing. Yet against one thing shall he continually battle: his own heart." Silence as spiritual practice. The divine lives in silence. The whisper of God is rarely heard through noise. Silence reveals truth. Words can hide, silence reveals. Mystical union. In silence, duality dissolves. We stop speaking to the divine, we start being with it. How to enter sacred silence. Begin with breath. Let breath lead you into silence. Designate a silent hour. No speaking, no inputs, just presence. Sit with the silence. When discomfort arises, stay. The mind will settle. End with gratitude. Before returning to noise, give thanks for the silence. Key takeaways: silence is a portal, not an absence. Spiritual insight often comes not through speaking, but through listening. Silence confronts the ego and reveals the soul. Time in silence strengthens spiritual presence. Begin small, 1 minute, then 5, then 20. If you seek the sacred, enter silence. It holds truths no words can reach. The mystics knew it. Now it's your turn to listen. How to stay centered in chaos. In the modern world, chaos is our default setting. Arguments flare up, notifications don't stop, noise surrounds us, both outside and in our heads. But in that very noise lies our test and our opportunity, the opportunity to become still, not after the storm, but in the middle of it. Let me share something personal. Not long ago, I was in the middle of a heated conversation. Someone I cared about said something that triggered me. My chest tightened, my fists clenched, and I could feel my heartbeat pounding in my ears. In the past, I would have reacted sharply, cutting them off or raising my voice. But this time, I paused. I took a deep breath. One full inhale, one long exhale. I felt the air move through me like a wave washing over a fire. And in that breath, I found space. I didn't have to react, I chose to respond. That breath was my anchor. That moment of stillness changed everything. Instead of escalating, I de escalated. Instead of creating distance, I created understanding. This is what it means to be centered in chaos. Story: The Monk and the Tiger. There's an old story from Zen tradition. A monk is walking through the jungle when a ferocious tiger appears. He runs, but soon reaches the edge of a cliff. With nowhere left to go, he climbs down a vine. Halfway down, he sees another tiger below, waiting. Two tigers, one above, one below. And then, right in front of him, he notices a single ripe strawberry. He plucks it, smiles, and eats it slowly. That is stillness in chaos. He couldn't control the tigers, but he could savor the moment. That's mastery. Let me share with you a story related to myself, which was a do with a family conflict. One evening, a relative brought up an old wound during dinner. My old pattern was defensiveness. But that day, I practiced what I preach. I listened. I gave space. Stillness didn't mean I was passive. It meant I responded from strength, not ego. How to practice stillness in chaos. The breath is always with you. Before reacting, take one conscious breath. Inhale deeply through your nose, hold, exhale slowly. Repeat if needed. You're not buying time, you're reclaiming your power. Name the chaos. Call it out internally. This is anger. This is overstimulation. When you name it, you separate your identity from the emotion. Create micro stillness. You don't need a retreat, just a bathroom break, a hallway walk, or 2 minutes with eyes closed at your desk can be a sanctuary. Lower the volume. Literally, turn off the TV, put your phone on do not disturb, shut the door. Chaos often comes from overexposure. Anchor in the body. Feel your feet on the floor. Wiggle your toes. Bring awareness to your posture. This grounds you in the present. Mindset shift. Chaos is the dojo. When we're centered during peace, it's easy. But real mastery is staying centered during pressure. Think of it like training in a dojo. The chaos is your opponent, and your stillness is your sword. We can't always control our circumstances, but we can always control our internal state. Key takeaways. Top tips to remember. Pause is power. Don't rush to react. A pause gives you back control. Name the storm. Label your emotion to disarm it. The body is a gateway. Stillness starts with awareness of breath and body. Silence is strategy. Sometimes saying nothing is the strongest move. Stillness is strength, not weakness. The calmest person in the room has the most power. We all live in noise, physical, emotional, digital, but being centered in chaos isn't about escaping the noise. It's about not letting it shake you. Stillness is not the absence of action, it's presence within the action. I've seen the difference in my own life, in how I handle conflict, pressure, and distraction. You don't need a perfect life to be at peace. You just need the tools to stay centered right where you are. So, next time chaos rises, breathe, center, and return to stillness. How the warriors practice stillness. Warriors throughout history knew the value of stillness, the calm before the strike, the breath before the storm. Today's battles are different, but the principle remains. In a noisy world, stillness is your edge. Here is a personal example of a story before a big decision. I had to make a major life decision, one that would affect my finances, my career, and relationships. My mind was spinning. Advice came from all directions. But I remembered the samurai principle: decisions made in stillness lead to clean action. I took 2 days off, no calls, no scrolling, just walking, meditating, and listening inward. The answer came not from logic, but from deep clarity. That decision changed the course of my life. Warriors who mastered stillness, samurai, practiced zanshin, total presence even in danger. Spartans trained their bodies, but more importantly, their minds. Special forces use breathing and mindfulness to perform in chaos. These warriors don't react, they respond. Calm is not passivity, it's precision. Training your nervous system. Cold exposure trains calm under discomfort. Box breathing. Inhale 4, hold 4, exhale 4, hold 4. Navy SEALs use this. Visualization, picture yourself calm in a storm. Daily movement builds resilience. Mindful discipline. Do what's hard without complaint. Modern battles you face: email stacking up, social media drama, health scares, deadlines, relationship tension, your sword, stillness, key takeaways. Stillness is your strategic advantage. The mind must be trained like the body. Warrior calm is cultivated daily. In high stakes moments, breath is your weapon. Don't react. Respond from center. You are a modern warrior. Your battle is overstimulation. Your mission, stillness. Train daily, stay ready, and move through life with unshakable calm. In a world that never stops moving, stillness is not weakness, it's power. Whether you're journaling at dawn, walking mindfully through the chaos, or sitting silently like the mystics of old, every quiet moment brings you back to your center. We've explored daily rituals, sacred silence, modern chaos, and the mindset of warriors who remain calm under fire. The lesson is clear: stillness isn't about escaping life, it's about meeting life fully without being shaken by it. So take one practice, just one, and start today. Breathe before you react. Walk without your phone. Sit in silence and listen inward. Stillness is your superpower, your sanctuary, your way home. If this video brought value to your journey, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs peace today. Drop a comment below with your favorite practice or a moment you found your stillness. And stay tuned. The journey continues in the next chapter.